I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, let's not go home.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to extend.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better you, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about it.
Happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to extend.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep your distance. 'Cause right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
If my day keeps going this way, I just might.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I'm like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know? See, now this here,
Not Robert.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 134 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. How's everyone doing this fine Tuesday evening? This will be, well, it's not the first time it was live on a Tuesday, but I think, as I expressed on the previous episode this past Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, it would be Sunday, duh. The last episode we did this past Sunday would be the last Mood of the Nation episode to be airing on a Sunday. So from now on, Mood of the Nation will be live on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll also write another Telegram post about that later on. Again, just to keep people well aware of that. I'll probably maybe even mention that to whoever is involved with the live stream schedule type of thing with PA, whether it be Laura or Sam or anyone with regard to that. Because like I said before, there will be some slight changes with that going on. And you can all see that Wesley, the host of Renewed Britannia, he's now streaming on the Sundays. Mark's stream will still be the same on a Wednesday. What was I going to say? Tea Time with Sam and Laura will still be on a Monday. I've noticed that Jodie doesn't normally stream on a Tuesday as much, but maybe later on. I think she streams Tuesdays and Thursdays as well, but I think it's like maybe way later during the night. But anyway, just thought I would update with that. And also Joe Marsh, I know that does some occasional live streaming as well. I think it's maybe once a month he's going to be doing it. So there you go. I also see NHP UK TVs in the chat. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for watching the show. That would be John Lawrence. Yeah, it would be John. Well, speaking of which, I'm going to be doing the show tonight for about an hour and a half. So we'll finish right up until 7:30. And by the time 7 o'clock does come around, if you guys, even after the show comes to an end, if you want to check it out, any NHP UK will be live streaming at 7 p.m. on their channel. So if you want to give that a watch, whether it be after the show or maybe during that time at 7, then you're more than welcome to do so. Because like I said, I'm going to be doing the show tonight for about an hour and a half and then see from there. Active Patriots in the chat. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Great. Appreciate you being here. English Weather is with us. How you doing? Thanks very much for watching. Gamma Sandwich is with us. I see Novara are misrepresenting PA's response to their questions. Hit piece line 20. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was looking through Telegram today just to see what type of news stories have been going on, whether it be today or maybe this past week that I haven't covered already. And I was looking through Ayatollah's Telegram page, and sure enough, I saw that article, which I was like, wait a minute, was that the same article I covered on the Sunday's episode? So I clicked the link for the Novara Media link, and sure enough, it was an article that they released, which came out just today, and I was like, wait, another one in a span of what was it, 2, 3, or 4 days? Okay, fair enough. So I guess I don't know if I want to cover that article today because again, that only caught my attention just earlier on, just before the show went live. So maybe next time, but we'll see from there with that. But I don't know. I think I've already said my piece about the Novara Media article. What I have noticed after the show, by the way, this past Sunday, a couple of people from PA, Native is Concern, Horace. I think there may be a couple of other people, but I can't remember for the life of me. But they were sharing a article that was written by Novara Media, and I believe it was called the Top 12 Books White People to Read Before Going Extinct or something like that. Hold on, let me see if I can find that. Oh, when I first saw this, I was like, no, there's no way like this is real because again, regarding to the overall subject matter of the Great Replacement. Normally, these are the same groups of people who are like, "This is just a far right conspiracy theory." Like you're just like you're being incredibly paranoid, and blah blah blah. All this change is happening, and this is a good change coming to the country, and you should accept that bigot whether you like it or not. And then, of course, some of the guys from PA end up finding this article that they themselves have written. So they say we're conspiracy theorists for that, no problem making about the types of books that white people should read before going extinct or whatever it was called. But damn, what the hell was it? I know Native is Concerned made a post about it. And I think Mark Collett made a retweet about it. Sorry, let me just see if I can find it real quick and I'll show you guys what I mean. I know some of you might have seen this already, but again, just for like context purposes, and then we'll see from there with that. Because I couldn't believe that. I was like, wow, like the sheer audacity of these people, the audacity of these absolute bags. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Right, let me share the screen real quick. Let me see. Top 10 books white people should read before becoming a minority. Basically, demoralization tactics. What happened to the screen? Oh, right. Wait a minute. That'll be why. I don't know why it's all fully black. That's crazy. Right. So there's that. Let me just click that away because I don't need the intro anymore. Don't know why it's not popping off. Here we go. Remove from studio. And then get this. Right. Here we go. 12 books white people should read in preparation for becoming a minority in Britain. This article is an old article, but this was written back, as you can see, on the 14th of May, 2014. So about almost 9 years ago. And again, these are the same people who will turn around and say we're conspiracy theorists, like this is just a far right, like paranoia, whatever you want to call it. And yet they have no problem of writing as Gamma Sandwich pointed out in the chat, a demoralization tactic type of article or piece. The sheer balls in these people, the audacity of these people, astonishing how disingenuous these people can really be. But anyway, I've already said my piece about Novara Media and of course Ash Sarkar. There's really no other ways about it. But anyway, let me see, 12. So no, that's like completely. It's about the same amount anyway. But anyway, let me see. Let me see. Sorry, just sorting this out a minute. Right. Let me also see. Welcome into the world, my 19th grandchild. Oh, excellent! Congratulations, Odysee Advocate. That's really good to hear that. Born with a Milan is 27 pounds, 12.3 weeks early. Excellent. Congratulations, Odysee Advocate. Really good to hear that. Spaces tonight about Saturday's demo. If you're interested, okay, that's fine. No worries. Okay, here. Right. Okay. Let's see here. Thanks. Yeah, no worries. You, Advocate. It's really good to hear that. So, Ashok Kumar literally hates white people and Britons in particular. I don't know why they just can't leave the country. But anyways, sorry. Let me just see who's in the chat. Anyway, so as I normally do in every episode. Gamma Sandwich, I mentioned it already. And Sally's in the chat with us. Thank you very much for watching. English Rose is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation, as always. Shadow the Hedgehog 2000, that's pretty based. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Amanda Lee, thank you very much for watching. DJ Cuts is with us. Thank you very much for watching. I mentioned NHP UK TV or John Lawrence. Joe Marsh is with us. Thank you very much. Joe Marsh, like. Exile Viking is with us. Thank you very much for watching. Peter Walker is with us. Thank you very much for watching. Bill Athling is in the chat with us. Thank you very much for watching the show. English Weather, I mentioned already. Active Patria is with us. Thank you very much. Excellent. Hashtag is with us. Thank you very much for watching the show. That Irish chat went downhill fast after Mark and Sam left. Then that turned into a big row. Did it? I don't recall it turned into a big row, but I was actually going to talk about that just briefly before we get into the main topic at hand here, Joe, but I'm surprised that it went downhill after a big row. What was the row about? Because from what I remember, I was there listening to, I might as well just mention it just now before I move any further with the chat, but for those that don't know, last night, Off Grid Ireland did a live stream, hosted a live chat for Telegram, and they had both Mark Collett and Sam Amelia from Patriarchal Alternative to speak, which was good. It was good to see that other members from PA, of course, the big two being in this case, Mark Collett and Sam Amelia. I know myself and Joe Marsh, both from PA, were on the show first. I think it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago now or somewhere like that. I can't remember, but we were the first two members from PA to participate in that. And then, of course, Mark and Sam. I know Joe gave information and asked them if they wanted to come on, because obviously when it comes to British nationalism and Irish nationalism, it'd be a good idea to maybe extend that olive branch to maybe see if we can work together, put our differences aside. Well, they were on the show last night, and from what I remember, it was a pretty good show. There was no any arguments, no any beefs or anything like that at all. It was actually a very well done show. And I know some people might have missed it, but I'm sure they'll post it on their YouTube and Spotify and maybe another platform later this week. I think it's maybe every day or two, so maybe not today, but they'll probably upload it tomorrow, maybe, I don't know. But if it does come out on other platforms, myself, and I'm sure Joe will do as well, everyone will definitely share the link, of course, and that'll be interesting for people to see or listen to if they've missed it. Homa Talk is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Glad I'm catching this. Cheers, guys. No worries. About midnight, a lot of people started rowing. Well, that's a bit weird. Midnight time. I wonder what they were arguing about. Were they arguing about maybe it was because of Mark and Sam that were on, or like because again, from what I remember, Joe, it seemed everything was like all smooth sailing. There was no problems with it. I mean, it was about 12 o'clock at night, so maybe it was about something in particular, but I don't know. If it did, that's a real shame. But anyway, Deb Demos is with us. Thanks very much for watching. I listened to that off the grid chat, and it was very cordial. It was very cordial indeed. It should be cordial. The Gales are our people, indeed. Good to the missed that show. Like I said, also the advocate. I'm sure Off Grid Ireland will upload it on their channel or Spotify as well. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. I'm not sure, but they'll probably release it sometime this week. Joe Marsh, no, nothing to do with us. Just drunks arguing. Right, fair enough. I see. I did see there was one particular person while I was listening to the stream last night. I noticed there was one naysayer. I will not mention this gentleman's name, but I spoke to him before. But there was a naysayer in the Off Grid Ireland chat who was talking about how, I can't stand listening to Sam, like he's a grifter, and blah blah blah. Of course, Sam did a great comeback by saying to him, "I had maybe too much to drink or something like that." But I mean, if you all see the message, you might know exactly what I'm on about. But again, I'm not going to mention this gentleman's name because I think this gentleman, this naysayer, is a complete joke of a nationalist, quote unquote. But anyway, that was only just one person. Turned into a right shit show after Joel left. Oh dear, that's a shame to listen. around midnight as well. But anyway, let's move on from there. Ultimately speaking, it was a great show last night, and hopefully Off Grid Ireland will release it sometime this week. Now, another thing I want to mention too is I noticed that I did say previously that I was going to get a guest on, but I did. Anyone got the link to the show? It was streamed on Telegram, but it's no longer there at the moment. Like I said, they'll probably release it on their YouTube and Spotify, any other platform, sometime in the near future, possibly sometime this week. And if it does come out, everyone will be sharing the link at some point anyway. But anyway, as I was saying, I did say in the last episode I was going to get a guest on. Well, I am working on getting someone on. I was speaking to one person in particular, and I tried to contact the other person, but there was no way for me to try and contact them. And I was like, damn it, because these two people were actually advised to me by Kenny Smith, because I asked people around like, hey, who should I maybe ask to come on the show? And Kenny was the one who was like, well, why don't you get these two people? Now, the one person I tried to contact but couldn't because there was no way for me to contact this gentleman. It was a gentleman by the name of Glasgow Cabby, I think his name is. He's going to be, he's like an activist in Scotland. I believe he's going to be the host for an upcoming demo. I think it's going to be happening this week in Edinburgh, I think. So that's going to be really interesting. I thought it would be interesting to maybe have him on and give his take about that, whether it be before or after that demo comes to an end. The other person that Kenny advised I should maybe get on the show, which I didn't think this person would ever come on. I did leave them a message on Twitter, but I don't know if they might respond to it. Some of you might know who this is. He was actually featured on No Chance's channel one time, like one stream they did together. And that gentleman is the leader of the Scottish Family Party, and by the name of Richard Lucas. Now, he was on, as I said, on No Chance's channel one time, but I mean, considering that I'm a member of Patriarch Alternative, I don't really know if he might come on because of that, but we'll see. We'll definitely wait and see with that. But anyway, Irishman getting drunk, I don't believe it from Toby Radley. It's shocking. I know it's really shocking that, but anyway. Right then, so where to begin? So let's turn. I've read that message already. That's fine, no worries. Right then, I think we'll get right into the show itself because now we're like 20 minutes into the show already. That's crazy. Right. So, well, actually, before I do that, one last thing to mention, and then we'll get right into the show itself. Not sure what happened after the discussion, but if it was messy, quote unquote, then Off the Grid Ireland need to tighten up and get more moderators to control the stream. Yeah, I could see that. I could really see that because one thing that will ruin like a type of community or anything like that at all is, of course, some drunken discourse or whatever. So that's why I pretty much never really drink as much anymore because of that. But anyway, yeah. So one thing to mention, right? So in terms of supporting the show, I've mentioned this on the show multiple times in the past, but there are ways of supporting the show financially if you want to. Now, as I said, towards the last half hour of the show tonight, it's going to be like every night, so around about maybe 7, I'll go and maybe do this, but we'll do like a short Q&A type of thing. So you'll see the pinned comment on the top of the chat there. It's the entropy link. So within that, if you click on the entropy link, if you want to, it'll redirect you to my entropy page where it's live. If you want to ask me any questions, be it paid or unpaid questions, you can, or even send in a donation through entropy, then just click on the entropy link and then answer your question there. And then I will be happy to answer any question come through on entropy towards the end of the show tonight. In terms of sending donations, there's 2 ways. Now, down at the bottom here in the description area, or the description section, I should say, there is either Buy Me a Coffee, which is an alternative to coffee exactly. You could either support me by following me there as a subscriber, or which is completely free to do, or you could just send in I think it's a £2 or £3 donation through Buy Me a Coffee, but that's only if you really want to regarding to that. Or another alternative measure with that would be PayPal directly, which the links for that, if you want to, will be in the description down below. I'll mention this again maybe later on in the show, but I'll mention this that out of the way just in case if people want to give any donations to support the show in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, let's get right into the first topic at hand here. So I'll get it's a kind of a bit of good news and bad news regarding to the first thing we're going to be talking about here. So let me start off with some good news. Now, I'm sure people might have seen this already, as it was featured on, I think Sam or Laura made a post about this. Maybe Mark did, and then it was then shared on the Patriarch Alternative Telegram page, and then see from there. So let's start off with I don't know if let's start off with the Sam video, and then I'll see if I can find the article about it as well. So I'll read the post first of all. It reads: "Victory in Cottenham, proof that protest works. The locals did a fantastic job of organising and didn't mince their words when given their reasons for opposing the Home Office plan to dump 1,100 men on them." I just realized I'm not sharing the screen, so bear with me just a second. That's not as entropy. Whoops, my bad. There we go, Telegram. Our demo at 2 p.m. this Saturday is still on as we're looking to address the root cause of the issue, not just move it down the road and consider it a job well done. This struggle is a national one, and we must come together to put an end to mass immigration and get and the great replacement. So that's that page there, and I'll just read or let's watch Sam's clip. Here we go.
Hey everybody, fantastic news from Cottingham this afternoon. The University of Hull has said in a statement that it is categorically against selling to the Home Office. So the 1,100 asylum seekers that were potentially heading to Cottingham have been headed off, which is fantastic. And it's all thanks to the locals who were doing work on the ground there. I think it was good timing, actually. They had a demo planned for the University of Hull, who had an open day this Saturday. And I think that really put the fear in them, which is amazing. Yeah, it's moved on. But as with everything, the Home Office doesn't like taking no for an answer. So while it's not Cottingham now, it could be anywhere else in the country next, which is why we need to address the root cause, which is the fact that we've got open borders and there's no talk about limiting the amount of people coming into the country. So our demo on the 14th at 2 p.m. is still going ahead, and we hope to see you there.
There we go. So that's Sam's clip. So that was a great piece of news, and I'll see if I can get the article here. Now, I'm not sure which article this is from, but again, it's basically the same about that what Sam just mentioned. University of Hull rules out deal to house more asylum seekers in Tottenham. Some of the halls of residents at the Lawn are agreed to listed buildings because of their contemporary design. So, as it says in the post, they're a massive victory over this area in Tottenham for the local people living there. A huge thank you to Sam Millia and PA Yorkshire, who were on the ground leafleting, raising awareness, and helping the locals organize. This is the second time Patriarch Alternative have played a part in getting one of these migrant housing schemes cancelled. Thank you to all involved, which I'll give a big thumbs up to that. So yes, it's really great to see. Another victory for nationalism regarding to that. And I remember also specifically hearing a lot of the naysayers. Well, when I say naysayers, I mean people who think that IRL activism doesn't really help the cause or for nationalism or anything like that at all. You normally hear that type of argument from people who normally would sit on their arse all day and don't contribute to anything regarding to activism. Well, when this type of thing comes around, they're the same people that are dead silent. You'll not hear a single peep from them whatsoever. And I think we all know why that would be the case, because it just goes to show that IRL activism, and I'm not saying that online activism isn't good. I'm just saying that it helps. But I think IRL activism is definitely the way moving forward to getting stuff done. So, regarding to that in this case, so really good to see. And as Sam pointed out in the chat, I think other people have also mentioned this as well. But there's still a demo coming up on the, what was it, the 14th? I think they said. Today's the 10th, so yeah, Saturday the 14th. So if you're around that area, if you can get to that area on the Saturday the 14th, definitely do so. It is vastly important that even though what happened here is good, but we still need to push on for push forward to getting this stuff even more done. So yes, as a step in the right direction, we still need to continue on doing this great work. So if you can get to, I think Sam said it's going to be in Hull. I think it was this 14th. I don't know if I'm correct in saying that. So please, someone in the chat, if they can correct me or anything like that at all. But if you can get to this area on the 14th of January, this Saturday coming, definitely go there and definitely show your support that we don't want these migrants coming in. Whoa, just noticed that just now. Just had a quick look at the entropy link just now, and I received a $25 donation from Homatalk. Hail to the chief. Well, Homatalk, if you're watching, thank you very much for your $25 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. David Davis, demo where in Hull? I think it's in Hull. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's in Hull. Let me just actually check this for a minute. 14th, demo 14th, wait a minute. Yeah, I'll share the screen again because it'll be this one here. Hello, Hightower. Thank you very much for watching the show. Let me just see if I can get this up here. Demonstration against the continued expansion of migrant facilities. Hull, Victoria Square, January 14th at 2 p.m. So that would be this right here. The Home Office is desperate to find any mass accommodation to help keep up with their insane open border policies. The latest plans are to purchase the lawns in Cottenham, one village, 1,100 men, zero talk of stopping the boats and enforcing our borders. That's the demo I was talking about just now. So please, 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 if you're near, if you live there, if you live near that area, or if you can get there on Saturday the 14th at 2 p.m., which is in Hull at Victoria Square to be exact, please go there. It's definitely beneficial to get the message out regarding to that. So there we go. And let me see if I can get back onto here. Good evening, Mr. Thank you very much, Ugly Truth. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. If anyone took it upon themselves to commit to delivering 500 leaflets in their own area, it would be good. You could take your time, no hurry. Indeed. Where is Cottenham? I think Cottenham is in, I could be wrong saying, is it in Yorkshire? I think it was. Wait a minute. Cottenham, right? Well, let me see here. I think it's in Yorkshire, but again, don't quote me on that. But Cottenham, East Riding of Yorkshire, right? So it is in Yorkshire. It's a large village and civil parish in the East Riding of Yorkshire, England. There we go. So this is Yorkshire. There we go. 1,100 dinghies, rats in a small village. God damn it, Ugly Truth. It's near Hull, yeah. It's like Hull near Hull, but yeah, there we go. So, right, perfecto. There we go. Right, so that's the first thing. I know that first part was rather brief and really short, but I think it's important to maybe message as to get again just to showcase that IRL activism does actually work and it does a lot of good stuff for the cause. And again, the only way to have more accomplishment with it is keep on doing the good work regarding to it. So please, if you can, get to this demo on the Saturday the 14th. It would be really great for you guys to do that. Right, so that's that one done. Let's move on to the next topic at hand. And this one is an article. It's another hit piece. What a shock. But it's not from Novara Media. Instead, this one is from The Ferret, and it's about Patriarchal Church of Scotland, of course, the regional group that I'm part of. Now, it seems within this article, because this is not the first time that The Ferret has ever done an article about PA Scotland. In fact, there have been numerous articles in the past. I think there must have been maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe, I don't know, 7, but it's quite a few articles that The Ferret has talked about PA Scotland, and two members in particular, Kenny Smith and Cyborg, just in case people don't know. So this article, now again, what's different about this article from The Ferret is that even though it's talking about PA Scotland, this one to me, and of course from a few others, this comes off as they really are trying to go balls out with this idea of, oh, PA Scotland is a possible terrorist group, blah, 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 to the point where it reads in the article that counter-terrorist groups or organizations are getting involved with the Scottish government. So I don't know if that might be true. It might be a blown out exaggeration, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point in time that these anti or counter-terrorism groups with with the Scottish government are going to try their best to try and take us down as possible as best as they possibly can, despite the fact they can't, because we've done nothing illegal. We're law-abiding citizens. We're doing everything close to the law as we possibly can. We're not breaking any laws. And by the way, with regard to that, if PA Scotland was a terrorist group, and especially if that were to be true, right? Would any of us, especially the faced out members, would be out in public? I mean, it's retarded. It's absolutely just ridiculous. Now, let me see if I can get the article up here just now, because as I see, English Rose has posted that link in the chat. So, in case people want to read the article themselves, then they can if they want to. So, let me see if I can. It's up here in a moment, just now. Okay, I'll share the screen again. I guess saying this pointless given these types of good excuse for not doing it. I know English weather, indeed. Anyone from Tyneside going down, I join them contributing to fuel. Fair, yeah, there we go. Well, if people can give Austin Advocate a lift, then that would be grand. So there we go. Perfect. Right, 26 people watching the show. Excellent, good stuff. And right, let's see here. There we go. The ferret, or some of the guys from PA Scotland call it the weasel, which I think is a much more accurate title for this news agency, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this article was written and published today by Jamie Mann, January the 10th of this year. Scots far-right group targeted by government counter-terrorism strategy. Oh dear, how scary. So let's have a look at this just now, right? Far-right group Patriotic Alternative Scotland is the subject of a counter-terrorism strategy involving the Scottish government, the Ferret can reveal. In an email exchange last October, so about 2, 3, maybe 4 months ago, to take it or leave it, something like that. But anyway, the Scottish government suggested that Police Scotland and Pursue, which is part of a counter-terrorism strategy, which specifically aims to stop terrorist attacks, coordinate a future meeting regarding patriarchal alternative and online radicalization. The emails obtained under Freedom of Information law followed a counter-terrorism meeting including representatives from schools, prisons, the Ministry of Defence, and local authorities. So they're already acting like as if we're this huge, gigantic threat that's going to, like, I don't know, like I don't want to say dictate, but basically taking over the country by force or something like that. It's like, look, we're law-abiding citizens. We're not terrorists. We would never commit any violence or anything like that at all. We condemn all sorts of violence, and we have a strict code of conduct. So I don't understand like why they're going to such a length to try and portray us in such a negative light. Although they have some examples of portraying us in a negative light. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the Lib Dems said it was remarkable how long it has taken to recognize the threat of the far left, or sorry, far right. Sorry, both the Conservatives and the Greens said Scotland must not be complicit when dealing with far right groups. PA Scotland claimed that its code of conduct expressively rejects anything that advocates for anything other than legal activism. So here's one of the articles they did publish about revealed supporters of Scots far-right group possesses weapons. So not members, but just supporters of, because when you say supporters, it doesn't necessarily mean members. Supporters can also mean, well, I'm not a member of PA Scotland, but I do support them in what they do. But they're trying to make that as if, well, these are members of a patriarchal alternative and they have weapons. Again, I've met the majority of, pretty much all the members of PA Scotland, and not one of them, from my recollection, have they owned any weapons of the sort. And that's it. That should be the end of the argument there, especially coming from someone who is what's the word? Not just a member, but a vetted member within PA Scotland. So they can try and cope all they want and try and portray us as horrible as they possibly can, but I mean, it's just not. It's not really going to work, is it? It's not going to work at all. The Ferret previously revealed that the leading figure in Patriarchal Alternative, or Scotland, or PA Scotland for short, Kenny Smith, used a private chat group to recruit neo-Nazis who posed with weapons. That's a complete lie, because I know Kenny Smith. I mean, a lot of us know Kenny Smith. Kenny and I have spoken to each other many, many times. And I know Kenny is very, very strict with the code of conduct, right? Even if it's a point where if it's done something really minor that might be viewed as like bad optics, even though we've not done it, but I can imagine if that were to happen, he would get right on your case about it. It's like, look, that's a bad look, that's bad optics, sort that out right now. He will not, he never sugarcoat it, or pussyfoot around it. He will tell you exactly like it is. So again, I don't buy this idea that like he had a private chat group and recruit neo-Nazis who pose with weapons. It's just ridiculous. And this one, shared a bomb making manual. Like, again, I've never seen Kenny do that. And even if there was someone from PA or outside of PA doing that, then Kenny would call them out on it. It's like, no, get rid of that. What the fuck are you doing? That type of idea. Quoted a mass murderer. Sorry, what? And said members should kill for the greater good. Again, I've never heard him say that. And this isn't me being like disingenuous or anything like that. I genuinely mean like I've never heard him say anything like that of the sort. So what exactly are you getting at here, Ferret? Among the content shared by some in the group were guides to make improvised landmines and automatic and concealed firearms. Where? Wait, so first of all, where was this posted? Like, which groups exactly? Because again, I'm in like multiple groups within PA Scotland, and I've never seen any of this whatsoever. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Sorry, I know I did promise Kenny I was gonna maybe swear a bit less on the show, but I'm sorry. This is just stuff like this really infuriates me because it's just blatant lies. I've never seen this in the group chats or anything like that whatsoever. A violent combat guide, a military tactics for white supremacists. Again, notice how these articles, by the way, they always mention or even write this down, but they never show any screenshots or any videos, just to showcase some proof or evidence that actually this is the case. But it's just a case of, well, we wrote this in an article, so it's like the whole listen and belief BS. It's like, well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Either you showcase some evidence or you're just completely full of shit. So, in the government's Scottish government's October email, it asked a redacted organisation to outline for the PA footprint and current activity / targeting in Scotland. So, which redacted organisation could that be? Could it maybe one of these leftist organisations? I mean, I have a sneaking suspicion it could be either Hope Not Hate or maybe Red Flare. I don't know what kind of like anti-fascist organization that could be in Scotland. I wonder, because that's really curious. That's really curious. In fact, it asked a redacted organization. Which organization had to have their names redacted? Really curious that is. Anyway, I've already mentioned that part already. At the next counterterrorism meeting in November, the government wanted to understand any current trends within online radicalization. It said, far-right counterterrorism strategy, both pursue which aims to stop terrorist attacks. Well, I mean, they're doing a bad job with it regarding to Islamic terrorist attacks, but okay, whatever. And prevent are part of the UK government's Home Office run counterterrorism strategy contest. Prevent aims to tackle the causes of radicalization via early intervention. It also exists to enable those who have already engaged in terrorism to disengage and rehabilitate. Prevent works with teachers, healthcare practitioners, social workers, and the police, charities and civil society, pathologists, community leaders, and others to spot those considered to be at risk of radicalization or being drawn into terrorism. I mean, okay. Notice how they always do that when it comes to white people, even if it's as little as maybe talking about the current society going on just now. Apparently, pursue or prevent any of these counter-terrorist organizations. It seems like they only focus on tackling on white people who might possibly, even though it might not, but possibly might commit a terrorist act. But when it comes to Islamic terrorist attacks, actual Muslims who have been looked at for a long time because they've done a lot of really shady stuff in the past. Well, I mean, yeah, they're being investigated, but they're not really that important. Don't worry about that. And then, of course, what happens later on? They go out and commit a fucking terrorist attack, and yet they seem to focus on us, people who are law-abiding citizens who would never harm anybody, who will never commit any violent acts whatsoever. But that doesn't matter because you have a pro-white stance. Then that must mean that you're a terrorist at this point. It's ridiculous, absolutely blatantly absurd. I was going to say this part towards the end but I think I might as well just say this now. This entire article right here is nothing but a fear mongering piece. It's basically a way to try and get people who are even thinking about joining PA Scotland. This is nothing more than just a fear mongering hit piece. That's what this is. It's just a way to try and get people to not have them join Patriarchal Alternative Scotland. That's exactly the whole purpose of this article right here. Where was I? Those thought to be attracted to extremism can then be referred to prevent. According to the latest available Police Scotland data, 55 individuals were referred to prevent in Scotland in 2020 to 2021. Some 25 or 45% of these referrals relate to right-wing extremism. I mean, why is it that I highly doubt that whatsoever? I have a feeling that is that amount because they're just probably trying to tackle people for the most littlest possible reasons or the most ludicrous reasons possible so that they can try and boost that number and showcase, oh, look, see, far-right extremism is on the rise, but then they'll just arrest or I don't know, take people to questioning for the most minute reasons for it as examples to that. This proportion more than doubled from 22% in 2017 to 2018. See, there we go. While the proportion of referrals related to Islamic extremism fell from 36% in 2017 to 2018 to 13% in 2020 to 2021. Again, it's probably because, I mean, I know there might not be as much like Islamic terror attacks that have occurred, which I think is a little bit odd because there were quite a few that happened in the past few years. I don't know why that would be in that case, but again, I don't want to come off as like a far-right conspiracy theorist, but anyway, PA Scotland claimed the counter-terrorism statistics had nothing to do with PA. Exactly. Prevent has previously faced criticisms for being used as a means to spy on Muslim communities, while a leaked government review last year said the counter-terrorism program had been too focused on right-wing extremism. Yeah, I actually agree with that. So again, yeah, as I said, it has nothing to do with PA because again, we're law-abiding citizens. We would never cause any crimes or anything like that at all. And the fact that they're no longer focusing on Islamic terrorism, again, that whole percentage of it went down between this time frame and this time frame, it's probably because of the lack of focus on that. Because I mean, previous to 2017, there were quite a few terrorist attacks that occurred in the UK. A few of them I can think of was the London Bridge attack that happened. There was one of the Manchester bombing that happened back in, I think that was in 20. It was the Ariana Grande concert. I do know that. I can't remember what year that was, but those were just a couple of examples. I know there was like a plethora of examples, or even I think it was called 7/7. I think it's referred to, like basically the UK's equivalent to 9/11, if you want to call it that. Again, there's a plethora of examples of that, but it seems that they're no longer being the main focus now because they really want to boost up the numbers for right-wing extremism, quote unquote. Where was I? I've read that part already. Following the leaks, a government advisor said the targeting one form of extremism was counterproductive, arguing that Prevent should be ideologically blind. There's a Scottish Lib Dem. Oh, listen to this part, because I read this earlier on, and listen to this about this douchebag. The Scottish Lib Dems is Bruce Wilson. Who is Bruce Wilson? Let's have a quick gander, just real quick. Spokesperson for the Scottish Lib Dems. There he is. There he is. Look at him. Look at him. He looks like a smug douchebag, but there he is. He looks like the type of guy who would just huff his own farts. But anyway, that's Bruce Wilson from the Scottish Lib Dems, he said, or has worked on projects using technology to counter terrorism. It's and this is a quote from him, it's remarkable how long it has taken to recognize the threat of the far right, while our governments have been overwhelmingly focused on Islamic terror extremism. If extreme right-wing groups or individuals are trying to establish a presence here in Scotland, then it is sensible for the government to do what it can to prevent them gaining a foothold. Right, so Bruce Wilson, I'm assuming, is claiming that it's okay for the government to interject and try and stop groups like PA Scotland for trying to get a big of a reach as possible here in Scotland. And I would guarantee that Bruce Wilson will turn around and say that we're the authoritarian ones, right? That's great. That's fantastic. This is coming from Bruce Wilson, who I think is coming across as a major communist authoritarian, and from the sound of things from here. Anyway, continuing on from there. Yeah, there we go. Neo-Nazis are increasingly using the platforms such as Instagram and Telegram to recruit young people. A 2021 report found PA Scotland has a youth wing which it promotes online. A young, disgruntled former member leaked PA Scotland's list of around 60 organisations and individuals in Scotland who oppose racism and fascism, some of which it intended to infiltrate. Wait, did it? Again, where's the evidence for this? I've never seen anything like this whatsoever. Hold on a minute. Let me just have a quick look at this. I don't want to fuck off. I don't want to see your membership. I may have a look at that later on, but I mean, but I again, either show some proof for that, or again, it didn't happen type of idea. Maybe this might work. Wait a minute. It's not good. I guess it's behind some gay paywall or something like that. Fine, whatever. Well, I'm not giving a £5 subscription for it. Screw that. Let me see. Where was I? All right, here we go. In November, PA figurehead Smith was found guilty of firearms charges. Wait, was it? No, that can't be right. Again, it's just probably just blatant lies. I don't recall this whatsoever, and I can't even get to the page. That's fine with me. The former BNP members group has been accused of trying to stir up racial hatred in Glasgow. Speakers at its secretive October conference. How is it secretive? And Sterling included an activist linked to a banned neo-Nazi terror group. Oh, here we go. It's probably talking about Sam Melia and his connections to a banned terror group, National Action, I think it's called. Despite the fact I've already made this point over and over and over again, many people within PA have debunked this entire thing. But again, just for the sake of this part here for the show, and also just for context, I might as well just mention this part here. Sam Melia was never a member of National Action. Sam Melia went to a protest that was an anti-grooming protest that was I can't remember where exactly it was, but it was a protest about ending the groomings that were occurring by again possibly Muslim or Pakistani grooming gangs that were occurring to young children. Sam Melia went to that, and of course, Sam Melia went to that protest as well as National Action. It was a case of sheer coincidence that both were at the protest at the same time. Sam didn't know who they were, nor did he think, or did he realize that they were going to go as well. Yeah, I mean, again, it's all been completely debunked, so I don't understand why they keep on harnessing this or trying to push it. Well, I think we do know why, but it's frustrating at this point that they just keep pushing this over and over and over again, despite the fact it's been debunked completely. There's no point of going on about that. Anyway, continuing on from there, the Scottish government said that while counterterrorism was reserved to Westminster, it was working with partners across the UK to tackle the threat posed by all forms of extremism. Isn't that rather funny with the Scottish government that is against Westminster and how it's authoritarian and it goes against the wills of the Scottish people, but then will conveniently use Westminster and asking them for help for this type of stuff. I mean, you just gotta love the hypocrisy regarding to the Scottish government, right? Absolutely just ridiculous. Where individuals or groups support or use violence or the threat of violence with the intention of dividing our communities, we will take robust action to counter them, said a spokesperson. Our focus is on building links and relationships between communities. No, you don't. You don't give a fuck. To overcome all forms of prejudice, intolerance, and racism, to protect our shared values of democracy. There's that buzzword: democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Right. Okay. I just want to just rebut this entire quote here, but regarding to building links and relationships between communities, you don't care about that. To all these organizations like Prevent and Counterterrorism and the Scottish government who want to help build communities, you don't give a shit. You do not give a damn. You don't care when it comes to like all the rubbish that's going around within the cities. In fact, I know it's quite prominent in Glasgow, for instance. There's a lack of bin men taking all the rubbish away, which I mean, again, that really goes to show what Glasgow is really like at the moment, and that's all done by the SNP, by the way. So I really wonder who are the ones who are actually taking up litter picking, delivering leaflets, and trying to be as cordial and friendly to people as possibly can. It's us. It's Patriarchal Alternative Scotland. So, and also when it comes to building links and relationships between communities, we're the ones that are doing that. And of course, groups like the Scottish government and Prevent and Counterterrorism, they don't like that because it's building morale for white people. That's why they don't like it. And of course, this whole thing about shared values of democracy. Look, we all know for a fact that democracy is a giant lie. It's a false god. Democracy is basically an excuse for like degenerate values and all of that. And if it really was a democracy, well, maybe I guess you could maybe. Well, actually, yeah, you could see it when it comes to Scotland. Why is it that it's mainly that the SNP that are the main Scottish party that gets promoted, and it's never any other political party, especially the Scottish Tories? I know they're not necessarily fans of us, but so much for democracy regarding to that. So, I mean, human rights, again, you only care about the non-Scottish people or the non-whites coming into this country. You care about them a lot more than the actual people who were born and bred within this country. And of course, the rule of law. I mean, again, regarding to the rule of law, the only people who are obeying to the rule of law is the Indigenous people of Scotland or the Scottish people. The non-Scottish or the non-whites that come here, they don't give a fuck about the law. They'll just wipe their arse with the law. They don't give a damn. A Home Office spokesperson said the government takes the threat from all forms of terrorism seriously. I highly doubt that, including the warped ideology of the extreme right wing. We are committed to tackling those who spread views that promote violence. We never promote any violence whatsoever. That's a complete straw man. And hatred against individuals. We don't have, again, that this whole thing like, oh, they have hatred in their hearts. The only group of people I've seen who have sheer fucking hatred for their own people, especially the Indigenous people of these islands, are the Scottish government who have hatred, Prevent, terrorism, and all of that. They're the ones with hatred in their fucking hearts. People like myself and Kenny Smith and everyone who are members of PA Scotland, we're patriots, we're nationalists to Scotland, and it's not because of hatred out of our hearts. It's because of love for our people, our country, our history, and our culture. That's why we're doing that. It's not because of hatred. It's because of love. The only people who've shown real vitriolic hatred are the Scottish government and people who support the anti-white agenda. Those are the ones with fucking hatred in their hearts, not us. And communities in our society that radicalize others. Right, okay. Wrong to be complicit. The Scottish Conservatives' shadow community safety minister, Russell Findlay, MSP, warned that while it may be tempting to dismiss this far-right extremist groups as a small collection of cranks, conspiracy theorists, and misfits, it would be wrong to be complicit. Well, see, that's the thing, isn't it? If you think we're a bunch of cranks and conspiracy theorists and misfits, why not just leave us the fuck alone and let us do our own thing? Again, we're not criminals, we're not thugs, we don't break any laws or anything like that at all. We are law-abiding citizens who are just promoting a pro-white message. That's it. That is all what we want to do regarding to that. So if we're that bad, or if they think we're a bunch of lunatics, why not just leave us the fuck be? Or another thing too, by the way, if they think our worldview or our opinions are so wrong, so abhorrent, or whatever the case may be, why not just sit down, have a discussion, or even, dare I say, a debate with one of us? If they think our opinions are so wrong, why not engage in a debate and showcase that our opinions are vapid and wrong? But they will never do that. You know why? Because if our opinions were actually given a platform and actually speak our opinions of what we actually think, it might actually go all out to the general public, and the general public in Scotland might actually, wait for it, might actually agree with us. And that's what the Scottish government doesn't want, and that's what Prevent doesn't want, and that's what all of these anti-fascist or counter-terrorism organizations don't want either. Mainly, these are anti-white organizations that really don't want, which really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think. He added, if there's reassuring to learn that the UK counter-terrorism network is doing its job in monitoring and curtailing the potential threat of those who seek to inflame community tensions by peddling such abhorrent views. All right. There's Sai right there. Far right podcast hosted by West Lothian Butcher, Eris Extremis. Okay. The Scottish Greens, Maggie Chapman, MSP. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. Calls Patriarchal Alternative a bigoted and reactionary organization that spreads misinformation. No, we don't. Bile and hatred. It must be challenged and driven out of our communities whenever it rears its ugly head, whether those are physical spaces or virtual ones. She said, we can never be complicit when it comes to the far right, the danger that it poses or the way it mobilizes and recruits online. I think this is the same Maggie Chapman. Hold on a minute here, just in case if that's the right one, maybe a different person. Right, yeah, I agree. No, maybe it's a completely different person. I don't know if that's the same one, but there was one Scottish MP or MSP who challenged a debate, against us, like Patriarchal Alternative or the far right, and we've actually said, yeah, that's completely fine. We will definitely engage in a debate with you. When do you want this debate to happen? And then I don't know if this might be the same person or a completely different person, but they basically backed out of it because they don't want to share a platform with fascists. And it's like, you absolute coward. Again, like I've said earlier on, if they think our views are so abhorrent and wrong, why not engage in a debate with us? Surely your opinions can outweigh ours, and surely it would be easy for you all to refute us. Wait, what seems to be the issue with that? All these people, these leftists or anti-whites have to do is have a coherent defense of why their opinions are better, why their opinions are much stronger than ours, and why their worldview is much better than ours. Wait, that's literally all they have to do with that. That's all they have to do. Where was I? Anyway, oh yeah, Police Scotland said it was aware of the use of social media as a promotion and recruitment tool by far-right groups. Our focus is on protecting our citizens and working with communities to deliver the Prevent program to help safeguard individuals who have been identified as vulnerable to radicalization or suspectable to being drawn into terrorism or violent extremism, said Chief Superintendent Matt Richards. PA Scotland told the Ferret that it is a radical organisation which unashamedly stands up for the rights of the Indigenous people of these islands and indeed across the world. Our community politics-based approach is very much focused on making sure political dissidents engage in lawful resistance, said Simon Crane, the far-right group's Scottish regional organiser. There he is. Crane added, Kenny Smith was admonished for the firearms offence of holding a small number of bullets in excess of his license. It was not terror related, and that should be made very clear in your report. Mr. Smith, as the court recognized, is an upstanding member of his community. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm actually surprised they actually kept this in for the article. That's actually pretty accurate. Yes, indeed. he's done nothing wrong regarding to that. So I don't understand why they still had to put that in for the article. That he was found, what was it, found guilty of like firearm charges or something like that. It's like that's just wrong. It's just a blatant lie. Why still keep that in for the article? Again, it's all to do with trying to make it look bad and trying to get people to not join patriarchal alternative. Like I said, it's like a fear piece or a fear mongering piece. That this is right here. He is one of the leading advocates for community politics within PA and has been instrumental in shaping the organization's zero-tolerance attitude towards the cranks and misfits that besmirch the wider national struggle. And that's true. That's absolutely true. Police Scotland added, I would urge anyone who has concerns about someone they know being drawn into extremism to visit actearly.uk for support and advice. Anyone who has an urgent concern about terrorism can also always call 999 or contact the confidential anti-terrorist hotline on this number right here. Scottish Government emails regarding counter-terrorism strategies. And maybe we can have a quick gander at this because these are the actual emails. So CC redacted. So I'm assuming this is maybe the organization in question, like the anti-fascist organization, but I think a team's call would be helpful. Our redacted colleagues have kindly agreed to present on PA at the meeting, so it would be good to have a chat to coordinate. So I wonder what this organization could be, of the redacted name. I have a feeling it might be Hope Not Hate. I don't know if it is, but I have a feeling it might be Hope Not Hate. Maybe Red Flare, but I don't know, because this is meant to be like Scotland based. I mean, I don't know. So really interesting that. But anyway, that's in the article, and I love this part here. Trust in journalism, the irony. Anyway, going back onto here. So that's the end of that article. So again, another hit piece once again. So yeah, exactly. English Rose. They won't debate as they fear their own arguments are too weak to withstand debate. Indeed, that's why they won't debate us. They're cowards. They know for a fact that their arguments are completely not strong enough against our opinions. But anyway, PA needs to go all out to get recognized by the Electoral Commission ASAP. The regime has not banned a party in 80 years. Even Sven Finn, I hope I pronounced it right, never got banned. Unrecognized, we will be banned soon. I don't think we'll. I don't see. This is the thing. They can't exactly ban us because we've not done anything wrong. The only way how they would ban us if we've done something horrendous, and we've not done anything. We've not broken any laws whatsoever. I mean, is it possible they could ban us? I mean, sure, but the problem is like they don't have a single reason to ban us because we've not done anything wrong whatsoever. So. Absolutely, Chief. A two-party system is not democratic. Exactly. I know that's more prevalent in England, but I mean, it's quite bad here in Scotland because again, the SNP is like pretty much. I would say it's pretty much almost the like a one at this point in time. It's almost become like a one-party state because everyone will just vote for the SNP because of independence. Yeah, so having Scotland to be an independent nation, but then rejoin the European Union. I know I've said this multiple times on the show, but it's true. It's absolutely true. Democracy, that system where two idiots can outvote one genius. Indeed, indeed. Let me see here. They never show evidence. They never evidence anything. They say you're just expected to believe it because we said so. Indeed, that's exactly that. Never showcase any evidence, but they expect you to believe it regardless. You don't expect leftards to provide evidence, do you? Well, no. I mean, of course I don't. But again, you think maybe regarding to like a smear piece like that, you think it'd be beneficial on their part to maybe showcase some evidence, but I guess it's not really much of a surprise that they wouldn't show any evidence whatsoever. So no, there we go. Right. Anyway, yes, 90 Islamic terror deaths in 20 years. Exactly, John. Indeed, 2017. I'm assuming that's the Manchester bombing. What was it in 2017? I never thought. I thought it would maybe before then, but all right, there we go. Because they seen them as incidents of mental health rather than Islamic terrorism. Yeah, that seems to be the big excuse with these Islamic terror attacks. Well, they're not necessarily terror attacks, but they're just people going through mental health. It's like, really? Well, aren't you the same people who talk about mental health this and mental health that, but then use that as an excuse? Like, give me a fucking break. Uh, National Action never done anything wrong either, but the regime banned them. Oh, I mean, there you go. Rory Herbert is in the chat with us. Thank you very much, Rory. And also Streaky Bacon. Inshallah, Streaky Bacon. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Good evening, folks. Sorry I'm late. Just been setting up a new laptop and it's taken a while. No worries, Rory. Well, thank you very much for coming along. And I think you've just made it to the last portion of today's episode, which will be a short Q&A. So, like I said at the start of tonight's episode, I've already received a donation from Homa Talk, a $25 donation. Again, thank you once again, Homa Talk. I greatly appreciate that. If you want to enter any questions through Entropy, the link will be in the chat just now. So any questions you'd like to ask me, paid or unpaid, again, just feel free to ask me any questions and I'll answer them during the show. So that's the Entropy link there just now. And in terms of sending any financial contributions or any donations because you want to support the show, again, the links down below will be in the description. Those will be Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal directly. If you want to send me any donations because, again, you want to support the show, the links to that will be in the description down below. Let me see if I can find links because I don't know why, but for some odd reason people never tend to click on the description links. I don't know why, but let me just get the links up again just in case, and then see from there. I think it might be muted with this stream that's coming up. Wait a minute. It's muted. It's muted. If it's muted on Entropy, it'll be muted on YouTube. So let me see if I can get this. Let's see, post it. Oops, did not mean to do that. God, fucking damn it. That's not what I wanted. Sorry, folks. The Moody is all the leaflet and getting us any new members or supporters. Are we growing? I mean, in my opinion, I think it is slowly but surely more growing. I mean, it really depends on, I think, on the time of day and month and all of that. I know there might be seem a bit of a boost like in certain periods, like maybe during the summer, maybe September. But that's only if something like big, say, if like a documentary that were to come out, then there would be maybe more members coming along. So I think it just depends on the circumstances that happen in that day or month or even year or even year for that matter. That's the way I look at it anyway. I do think we are. It's more of a case of like a very slowly but surely type of like growth with PA. So anyway, let me just post a link for Buy Me a Coffee if you want to send any donations through there if you want to. As the link will be there just now. So I'll just wait for any questions to pop along. And then after that, by the time it gets to maybe 25 past 7, then we'll just end the show there. Because I know that NHP UK is live at the moment. So people, I'm sure, will head on over after tonight's show comes to an end. Anyway, let me see. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, just checking Telegram. No worries. No worries at all. So I'm going to see if I can get myself a guest on. I know I've said that on the previous episode. I was going to get a guest on for possibly tonight's episode or Thursdays, but I tried messaging one of them and I've not gotten back to them whatsoever. So maybe again at some point, I don't know, but we'll definitely wait and see with that. Actually, maybe that's something that I actually could check. Let me check Twitter and see if they actually responded yet. I doubt it, but check. What do you think of the Nationalist Party in Ireland? I think the Nationalist Party, from what I've seen, I do follow them almost everywhere, like Telegram and all of that. I mean, from what I've seen, they do a lot of great work in Ireland. They do promote the message. And I know there was a recent conference they had back in November where they were attacked by some far left, I think, members of the IRA that participated in that attack. But I mean, they didn't cucked or anything like that at all. They just stood their ground and they still continue on with the conference event. So I mean, I have nothing but praises for them whatsoever. And maybe I can have one of the guests. I mean, have one of the members, maybe the leader of National Party, to come on. Who's the name of the leader again? Wait a minute. National Party. Wait a minute. Maybe if he wants to come on, there's other Irish nationals I would definitely want to have on the show at some point. I don't know if I might come up on Twitter, but National Party Ireland. Let's see this. I'll let you know. Open the map. Justin Barrett, that's the name of the gentleman. That's the name of him, Justin Barrett. Yeah. And I see people in the chat already pointing that out. Thank you very much for that. So, yeah, I'll definitely see if I can have them on at some point and maybe have a little chat on the show, talk about Irish nationalism, possibly Justin Barrett. So, yeah. There's other people I really want to bring on at some point, mainly people from, or some content creators or nationalists from America. I know people are going to instantly think, oh, maybe someone from the NGP like Mike Enoch. I mean, yeah, of course, eventually at some point, like Mike Enoch or Eric Stryker. But there's a couple of people from America I really want to maybe have a chat with them because I actually follow their content ever since a certain period. I think it was the Darrell Brooks case. I was following their content for a while because I thought they tackled that subject matter very well. I don't know if they're busy at the moment because they supposedly are working on a documentary at the moment. So I don't know if maybe they'll be available, but I'll see what I can come up with. That is until I get a response from Richard Lucas, if he wants to come on, of course. Because like I said, I left him a message on Twitter, but he's not responded. I don't think he's seen the message. I don't know if it's maybe the best way to contact him, but it's probably, I did try to see if I could find him on Telegram, but nothing there. So hopefully he comes back at some point, but we'll definitely wait and see with that. Ever heard of Vanguard Britannica? I have not heard of them whatsoever. Let me see if I can find that. Is this like a new group that appeared, or wait a minute, Vanguard Britannica? All right, 905 subscribers on Telegram. I've not heard of them actually up until you just mentioned that. Interesting. All right, I'll see if I can have a look at that at some point. I don't know if they also have maybe a Twitter account as well, but yeah, I'll thank you for pointing that out, and I'll see if I can have a look at that at some point later on in the evening. I think they are new. I'm not too sure. I've not seen them before, so maybe they are new, or maybe they've been around for maybe a bit of a while. But I don't know. I'll see. I'll definitely have a look at that at some point later on today or sometime this week, because that will be interesting. Anyway, let me see here. Updating Twitter and just getting that here. Yeah, there we go. That's I also need to close that page. I don't really need that anymore, so that should be a-okay. 2 people watching Entropy. That's fine. I'm an American. I'm also retarded, but I repeat myself. I'll hop on the stream with you, Chief. Oh, that sounds good. Homo Talk. Yeah, I think I've heard you on Tola's streams from time to time. So I mean, if you're up for it, and maybe we'll get like the right time frame to do it, then because I know there's a bit of a time difference between here and some parts in America, so I'll definitely see if we can get that sorted at some point. That sounds like a good idea. Sounds a good name, to be honest. Yeah, Vanguard Britannica. It does sound like a good name, to be honest. Let me see. Yeah, he's been about a few years now, even before National Party. I'm assuming this is Justin Barrett. Was a bit worried he was a Mr. Neen lookalike, but Mr. Neen, is that Mr. Oh, like Mr. Bean? You mean like like lookalike? Lookalike, but they're good, and people starting to listen to Sense finally. Oh, fair enough. That sounds good. Right. Okay. Excellent. I got a £3 donation from Rory Herbert. Thank you very much, Rory. He writes, "Did you watch Tea Time with Sam and Laura last night with the ghost of Jodie Kay? That was quite amusing. I hope I didn't embarrass her too much with my questioning, asking her from Latin to English." I did see, I did see half of it, and I did come back to watch the rest of it. It was it was funny watching Tea Time with Sam and Laura last night. I know that Laura couldn't be on it because she was ill, but Jodie was on as a temporary replacement. Um, it was actually pretty funny because I did see her camera, Jodie's camera quality was working, but then but then it turned into something different and gave it that ghostly look. I know that they posted a meme about that later on, which was actually pretty funny. So I did see that, Rory. That was a pretty funny episode. And also, thank you very much for the £3 donation. Greatly appreciate you doing that, sir. Uh, America were 6 hours ahead of most of them. Well, fair enough. Homer Talk is good. He used to appear on Tola streams. Excellent stuff. The Irish have been taken to the streets in large numbers. I did see that. I think there was a recent clip about that, like a recent demo in Ireland, which I was really impressed with. It did seem like a really big turnout for that demo or that event. Anyway. Time is it now? 18 minutes past 7, almost towards the end of the show, troops. Almost there. Wow. Wow. Let me see. Nothing happening on Telegram. There's no any updates or anything like that at all. That's fine. Well, I'll definitely see for this Thursday coming. I'm gonna see if I can get someone on as a guest, and then we'll wait and see from there. So. Yeah, I seen them in Killarney and Ballymoney. Good on the Irish. Yeah, I think that's what was the reference to. Yeah, really good turnouts with that. Really good stuff to see. Um, let me see here. Right. Okay. So after this, I'm gonna get myself. I really don't know what to get for dinner tonight. I'll probably think of something when I'm walking down to my local shop, and then see what to get from there. Maybe something I've not had in a long while, actually, now I think of it. That might be a good shout. Mm. John Gary, Ireland was booming with money so much. The Celtic Tiger, people had so much money, they slept them all in effing horrible to return home and see. Yeah, it's horrible, that. Let's see here. Well, that's good to see with entropy. I wonder if there's maybe. Let me just have a quick check on something here. 1 second. And then what we can do for the outro song for tonight. Oh, I didn't think that would come up with that. I don't know what that's about. Oh, I did see the screen there that it was kind of froze for a second, but I think it's okay now, so that's fine. Get gammon steaks and eggs. That's a good shout, Rory. Rory. Sorry, that's a good shout, Joe. Thank you. That's a good shout. Shepherd's pie for me tonight, Chief Marie. Oh, that sounds really good, Rory. Actually, shepherd's pie. When was it? I'm pretty sure I had the shepherd's pie before. I think my nan made it. It was like a homemade shepherd's pie, but maybe that was like a long time ago. Could maybe have I really could do with like another homemade steak pie. I know she's really good at making that. Growing up in Dublin, I knew one half caste lad in the whole city. There's hundreds of now with Dublin accents. Yeah, I mean, I know that the amount of immigration is really taking a fast track in Ireland. It's actually quite scary how fast it's gotten um, over recently in the Republic of Ireland. And I think partly to do with that large increase of immigration. I don't know if John, if you might agree or not, but I think that's partly to do with the whole European Union membership. The reason I say that is mainly because that in here in Scotland, I know the SNP are desperately wanting Scotland to become independent, but really that's just code words for basically not become independent, but moving from one union to another, which would be from the Westminster Union or British Union to the European Union. And I think if Scotland were to become a member of the European Union or as an EU state, then I think the flooding of immigration will just massively increase if that were to happen. Ireland is rapidly being colonized by the third world. Yep, no surprise there. And if you've seen the homeless problem we got, these are put up in 5-star hotels. I know it's shocking that they would rather house these these invaders, if you want to call them that, rather than actually helping out our own people who are starving, who are sleeping rough, who are possibly even dying because they're living in the streets and no help has been given to them whatsoever. It's shameful. It's absolutely shameful what these people had to go through because of the sheer resentment that's been presented by our own government. Absolutely sickening that. Really sickening. I'll give another couple of minutes. I have not seen another question pop through on Entropy, but I do appreciate the overall, what is it, £3 donation from Rory and also the 25 donation or $25 donation from Homa Talk. I greatly appreciate that. Appreciate again with the turnout, and I know it may be a bit odd me doing another stream on a Tuesday, but like I said at the beginning of tonight's stream, Mood of the Nation will be live on a Tuesday and Thursdays from now on. Not too sure when exactly. Maybe maybe between 5-6 o'clock start on those 2 days for about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. Again, just depends on that. Believe me, Chief Moody, I would call these invaders much worse, but I refuse on here. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. They got Dublin people sleeping in tents in towns, effing freezing, and these scumbags getting straight into hotels. Hope they burn out. We need on Irish Rostock. Yeah, that's. I understand where you're coming from with that. John Waters is one of my favorite Irish. He has been protesting this replacement for years. A very clever man. Also, I've not heard of John Waters before. Regarding to that, I've always think of like the filmmaker, but I know that's not related to that. But I'm assuming there is not assuming, but there is a John Waters activist. But there we go. Joe Marsh, real quick. My next stream is Tuesday, at 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. Is that Tuesday the 17th? I think you mentioned that on one short you did, Joe. But if that is true, yeah, the Joe's next stream will be next week on Tuesday at 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. Again, I'll post the links for that when the time comes. So definitely tune in to that stream when it goes live, folks. Right, that's fine and dandy. Perfect. Joe Marsh, been enjoying your stream. I'd love to get the guest on it. That's Austin Advocate. First stream I have caught in a while. Good show, Moody. Thank you very much, Rigor Mortis. I appreciate you coming along, of course. I appreciate a lot of people coming along. About 28, there was about 31, 32 people that came along overall, which is again a pretty decent number, I must say. So yeah, really good turnout. I know again it might be a bit odd, but I'll definitely do a Mood of the Nation live stream on every Tuesday now. Maybe it might be a bit more convenient, kind of, because I know people would say, well, Sundays is a bit better because it's more of a chilled and relaxed day. But for me as well, I tend to view Sunday as more of a rest day also. So I think maybe from now on, Sundays is definitely going to be a full-on rest day, and I'm not going to do a stream on a Sunday anymore. Instead, Mood of the Nation will be live on every Tuesday and every Thursday. If there will be changes from day to day, again, I'll update with that as well. But overall, the 2 main days it will be live. It will be Tuesday and Thursday every week, and then see from there. Chief followed by Joe. That's my Tuesday evening sorted. That's actually a pretty good point there, actually. So that would be a good segue into that. So 27 likes is healthy too. Lots of streams are lucky to get 1 in 5 likes. So good that there's no trolls here. Yeah, it's mainly a lot of genuine people that are watching the stream. So which is really good to see. Sure, maybe in the past you might get maybe 1 or 2 that might pop up here and there, but at this point it's mainly pretty quiet in the chat. It's mainly, what's the word, cordial in the chat. No any issues or beefs whatsoever. Chief will be the starter to the main course. Oh, that's yeah, that's I don't know whether or not that should be a compliment or an insult based Ricky Bacon, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. So the starter to the main course, which would be Joe Marsh's stream, so at 8 p.m. next week. So what time is it now? Just approaching 7:30, which is good timing. Really good timing. Cool. There was another article that I was going to talk about, but I could maybe save that for another time. Maybe the next stream or the one after, but I'm going to see if I can maybe get a guest on for the next episode, which will be this Thursday. If not, any articles I was going to talk about, I'll probably just leave that to the next one. Who's going to be the pudding? That's actually a pretty good question, Joe Marsh. And also Streaky Bacon. Nothing meant bad, Chief, but that's completely fine. No worries then. No worries. Right then, folks. I think that will come to the end of tonight's show. I know that John Lawrence or NHP UK TV is live at the moment. If you want to check that stream out, you can definitely do so if you want to. And I think maybe Jodie might be live on her radio show, Truth Hurts. Maybe, I don't know. But if you want to check that out later on, then that would be maybe 9 p.m. our time, I think. But we'll definitely update that later on. So we'll definitely wait and see with that. So, yes, everybody, thank you all very much for coming along. It's been a great stream. Chief would suit a turban. Oh, God, no. Do not say that whatsoever. I would not. No, I would not wear a turban whatsoever. But thank you for that. So, but yes, thank you very much for the turnout once again. Greatly appreciate everyone coming along. Do I still have the link for these? I wonder. 14 for mini. Oh, thank you very much, Austin Advocate. I greatly appreciate that. Entropy still working fine. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can get a song for. It might be something I've played before, but again, won't be like a long song or anything like that at all. See you Thursday, folks. Take care, and as ever, be lucky. Thank you. Same to yourself, Gavin. Thank you very much for coming along. Cheers, Chief, for me. Only call at the end. Enjoyed it. 14. Thank you very much, John. Thank you. Hopefully, you'll come along again in the near future. So thank you all once again. What song to play us out with? I wonder. Could maybe. There's a playlist I normally get up here. Let's see here. Right, okay. It's not that song. I'm just playing it through here. Right then, okay. Imam Moody. God, no, Rick and Mortis, no. Or a banana, perhaps. I don't know about banana, but all right. Anyway, so as I said, yeah, that will be the end of tonight's stream. I'll see if I still have that link. Yeah, I do. In terms of again, I'll just mention this real part here. If you want to send again any donations through because you want to support the show, I'll post a link for my Buy Me a Coffee link. Again, if you want to follow me on there and also send in, I think it was a £2 or £3 donation through that, if you want to, because again, you enjoy the show or whatever, then by all means send in a donation through that link there just now, or through PayPal directly if you choose to. That will be in the description down below. And with that, folks, that's going to be at the end of tonight's show. Again, I greatly appreciate everyone coming along. I'll be back on Thursday around about 5:30, maybe 6, maybe somewhere around then, but we'll definitely wait and see with that. I'll keep you guys posted and updated for anything coming along for this Thursday show. I'll keep you guys updated with that. I'll also remind people that not to tune into Sunday's stream, because again, there will no longer be a Sunday show for Mood of the Nation. Instead, Wesley will be live on a Sunday from now on at 6 p.m. So again, I'll definitely be sharing that as well. And with that, folks, that's going to be the end of tonight's show. So again, thank you all once again. Looking forward to Thursday's show. I'll see you all then. If you want to send in a donation, the link for my Buy Me a Coffee will be listed there in the chat if you so choose to. And that's going to be the end of it. So thank you all once again. This is Chief Murray signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. And see you all next time. Thank you all again. Good night and take care. Good night.
Oh yeah.